What's up, everyone? Today we're going to talk about why you should never take probiotics until you've watched this entire video. It's going to shift your whole perspective, save you a bunch of wasted time and money on things that aren't really doing what you're hoping they're going to do. If you are already a subscriber to my channel, welcome back. If you're new to me, my name is Dr. James Null. I'm a chiropractor who quit doing functional medicine many years ago. I realized it doesn't really work. It doesn't heal anything. It just kind of makes you feel like you're doing something useful, but we can do much better than that. In 2016, I came across medical medium protocols. I've never looked back, never needed anything else. It's just a matter of sticking with those and understanding those, and you can take your healing as far as you want to. So let's get right into it. Why would somebody want to take probiotics? Well, they typically think it's going to help some gut issue, right? Like bloating, IBS, SIBO, IBD, diarrhea, constipation, something in that realm. And this has been going on for a couple decades now, where it's like, you have a gut issue, got to take probiotics. What kind of probiotics are you taking? Do you refrigerate your probiotics? Is it this kind? Does it have this many? All this stuff, right? And who has it ever healed? It's never healed anyone. And also people wonder, like, hey, I just had to take a course of antibiotics and I just scorched my gut. I know that. What kind of probiotic is best to build back my gut? None of them. It's not how this works. So yeah, sure, people can take probiotics and at the same time see improvement in their gut health. A lot of times that has to do with other changes that they're making. They're cleaning up their diet. They're being more mindful, eating less junk food. So the probiotic is not the thing that's going to move your needle. Your health does not come from microorganisms in a capsule. It just doesn't. It never has, and it never will. So the theory out here is that, well, somebody's gut flora, your microbiome is out of balance. And by taking probiotics, we're going to bring your microbiome back into balance and you're going to feel great. You can go back to eating whatever you like and you never have to worry about this pesky gut condition again, right? And what's the focus there? They're focused on repopulating your good, beneficial bacteria, right? And look, we do have good, beneficial bacteria. That part's real. And we need those. We want those. And yes, there are things like antibiotics that can wipe those out. Absolutely. But everyone neglects all the harmful bacteria in there. And that's what's causing your gut health issues. That's what you need to focus on, is how do you kill off those bad bugs, right? So in theory, even if probiotics did make it to where they want to go in the gut, and they were the right type of microorganisms that your gut needs, you could theoretically increase those. You could pump up those numbers to whatever you want, but they are never going to fight the bad bacteria. In other words, you can start like, this amount of bad bacteria, this amount of good bacteria. You can bring your good bacteria up here. It doesn't do anything up here. Whereas you're going to be much better off if you focus instead on how do you lower the bad bacteria. That's your way out of this. So the idea that probiotics are somehow some foundational part of health and gut health is just not true. It's not the case at all. So what is real? Like I said before, you got to kill the bad bugs. Everyone likes to focus on H. pylori, and that is a bad bacteria, and that can cause some problems. But the big one is strep bacteria, which is very antibiotic resistant. And that causes a lot of problems. There are many different strains of strep that can live anywhere throughout your digestive tract, from your mouth, from your esophagus, all the way down to your rectum and everywhere in between. Strep causes so many gut health issues. And the closest any of this labeling gets is SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. At least they recognize there's a bacterial problem. Now they're going to waste everyone's time and like make you do these breath tests and figure out what type of gas is coming out. It's almost always strep. You just got to figure out how to kill strep. That's how you do it. And probiotics, again, they have no antibacterial properties. There are lots of things that you can feed your body with, like fruits, vegetables, potatoes, supplements that do have antibacterial properties, and those are useful. Probiotics, they're useless. So what do you really want? So taking that component out of the equation, if we're just talking about building back the healthy components, the beneficial bacteria in your gut, what do you want? You want something that's known as elevated biotics in the medical medium world. So what are these? These are microorganisms that you can find growing on produce. And here's the very important distinction here. These are the good microorganisms because they are the microorganisms involved in the life or growth process. That is what you want to populate your gut with, not the stuff that comes in a capsule. You want to get the real living things here. So how you can get this is if you grow your own food. So if you grow some leafy greens in your garden, you can pick those, bring them in. Sometimes you can even see places in the folds of like a kale leaf that look a little fuzzy. And if you just give it like a gentle rinse with water, those microorganisms, those elevated biotics are still going to be there when you eat it, and they kind of get folded up and encapsulated in those leafy greens, and that ensures that they make it down into your intestinal tract where they can be useful. That's what you want to do. You could also, if you don't have a garden, that's okay. Just about anyone can grow some sprouts inside on their kitchen sink, and those will produce elevated biotics as well. So you can get elevated biotics that way too. That's how you repopulate the good microorganisms in your gut. Elevated biotics, not probiotics. So questionable ways that people try to balance their microbiome, try to help digestive issues. Probiotics, guys, that's not it. Fermented foods. People think that yogurt or kombucha or kimchi or sauerkraut is going to save them. No, those foods do have microorganisms, but remember when I said the important distinction was that microorganisms part of the life-giving or the growth cycle. The microorganisms in fermented foods, those are part of the death and decaying cycle. That's not going to help heal your gut. You do not need more of those in your gut. It's not going to help you. And especially if it's a dairy base like kefir or yogurt, those feed the bad bacteria in your gut. So you can be sitting here thinking you're doing all this amazing stuff for your gut, and unbeknownst to you, you're fueling the root cause of your gut. This is why so many people who are trying to make natural health work get frustrated and give up. I've been there. It's incredibly frustrating because it's so muddy out there, but it doesn't have to be. Fecal transplants, which, I mean, I don't know what to say. Just this whole idea, it's a great snapshot of how lost everyone is when it comes to health, that we got to a point where we think this is a solution. Putting someone else's feces inside your intestinal tract. I get desperate times call for desperate measures, but just eating some fresh fruits and vegetables seems like a much better approach to me. And plus, who knows what harmful bacteria in someone else's feces you're going to be implanting into your gut. I mean, this is just, we can do better. So what actually works? Killing bad bugs, things like celery juice, aloe vera gel, papaya, bananas, potatoes, golden seal, zinc, vitamin C, lemon balm, cat's claw. There's all these amazing things that kill off the bad bacteria, that kill strep bacteria in the gut. That's what you want to focus on. And again, elevated biotics, bringing those in, that's a great thing to do. That's a great part of your daily food routine that should be there. So what's the outlook with this? It's great. You might need to exercise some patience, but sometimes you can get some very fast turnarounds with these gut health issues. But if you just stick to the protocols and you keep hammering away and keep figuring out, what can I do better at? What can I tidy up on my protocols? you'll get to a really good place. So you can definitely heal. And this is the way to get there. All right, that's it for today.